What if the Earth collided with another planet? What if the sky above you suddenly lit up, not from a sunrise, not from fireworks, but from a planet the size of Mars, racing toward Earth at 60 kilometers per second? You'd think it's a dream. You'd pray it's a glitch. But it's not. Billions of rogue planets roam the galaxy, alone, cold, unseen. One of them could be headed straight for us. If you've ever wondered what would happen if Earth collided with another planet, you're in the right place. This is What If, and here's what would happen if an uninvited cosmic guest came crashing into our world. The silent threat appears, a stranger in our sky. It begins innocently, even beautifully. A tiny glimmer of light appears in the night sky, first dismissed as a distant star, a comet, or just space debris. But within days, the glimmer grows. Astronomers across the world turn their telescopes toward it. The calculations are chilling. This isn't just any object. It's a planet. A rogue planet. And it's heading straight for Earth. In the vast darkness of the Milky Way, it turns out we're not as alone as we thought. Scientists estimate that up to 50 billion rogue planets could be drifting through our galaxy, cold and aimless, ejected from their star systems billions of years ago. Most are invisible to us. They don't reflect light. They don't orbit a star. They're cosmic ghosts. And now one of them has found us. At first, the object would be so far away that it might take weeks or even months to recognize the danger. But once spotted, the timeline to collision would be terrifyingly short. Even traveling at a moderate pace of 11 kilometers per second, 7 miles per second, the rogue planet would grow larger and larger in our sky. First the size of a star, then a moon, then a monstrous disk filling the heavens. Media across the globe would go into frenzy. Governments would call emergency meetings. NASA, ESA, and every space agency on Earth would scramble for answers. Could we stop it? Divert it? Blow it up? The truth? No. This isn't an asteroid you can nudge. It's a planet, potentially the size of Mars or larger, millions of times more massive than anything humanity has ever tried to manipulate. And the clock is ticking. As the rogue planet nears, strange things begin to happen. The gravitational pull starts affecting Earth's tides. The oceans rise and fall more violently. Weather patterns grow chaotic. Animals behave erratically. Migratory birds get lost. Whales beach themselves. Earth, like a living organism sensing its own doom, begins to tremble. Cities by the sea brace for flooding. Satellites pick up unexplained tectonic shifts. And yet, the planet keeps coming, silent, relentless. It breaks through the darkness like a demon in slow motion. To the naked eye, it now looks like a second moon, but it grows daily. Children ask what it is. Scientists stop giving press conferences. The world holds its breath. We've seen planetary collisions before, in simulations, in the history of our solar system. Billions of years ago, a Mars-sized object called Theia smashed into the early Earth. That impact didn't destroy us. It formed the moon. But this time, the conditions are different. Earth is mature, populated, fragile. And this planet isn't grazing us. It's aimed for a direct hit. The final days are a cocktail of panic, wonder, and quiet dread. Religions around the world fill temples. Billionaires flee to underground bunkers. Space agencies launch desperate missions. Satellites, probes, even astronauts. But it's too late. There's nothing left to do. The rogue planet has entered the moon's orbit. Earth's tides rise eightfold. Coastlines disappear beneath mega tsunamis. And then, silence again. The calm before the final storm. The collision begins. Fire in the sky. By the time the rogue planet breaches the moon's orbit, Earth is already in chaos. Tides have swallowed entire coastal cities. Earthquakes rattle continents without warning. Superstorms, larger than anything recorded in human history, lash the globe. But nothing compares to what comes next. The planet now fills a third of the sky. Its craters, mountains, and surface details are clearly visible, glowing from the reflected sunlight and the friction caused by its rapid acceleration. It's no longer a question of if or when. This is it. The gravitational tug between the two worlds reaches critical mass. Both planets are pulling each other with relentless force. The rogue planet accelerates to nearly 60 kilometers per second, over 130,000 miles per hour. The sky darkens, not from nightfall, but from debris and atmospheric compression. You don't need a telescope to see it now. You just look up and panic. As the invading planet penetrates the upper layers of Earth's atmosphere, everything turns to fire. The compression of gases between the two celestial bodies generates temperatures beyond comprehension. The air glows bright white. Entire regions of Earth are instantly set ablaze, not just by heat, but by the massive shockwave traveling faster than sound, shattering buildings, uprooting forests, and vaporizing anything in its path. But the worst is still to come. As both atmospheres begin to merge, they ignite. Firestorms roll across continents. The pressure crushes lungs. Lightning flashes in all directions, some hundreds of kilometers long, igniting every flammable material in sight. The skies rain fire. Even underground shelters are no longer safe. The shockwaves travel through the planet's crust, turning stable ground into quivering jelly. Then comes the impact. The leading edge of the rogue planet makes contact. For those near the point of contact, it's instantaneous vaporization. Beyond death, beyond recognition. The force is equivalent to tens of millions of nuclear bombs going off at once. A mega tsunami forms, taller than the Empire State Building, faster than a jetliner. It doesn't matter where you live, coastal, inland, or mountaintop. There is no hiding from what follows. Molten rock is hurled into space. The Earth's crust fractures. Volcanoes that have been dormant for millennia erupt all at once. Continents are torn apart. And still, the energy released from this impact is not done. The core of the Earth, under unimaginable stress, begins to destabilize. The planet wobbles on its axis. The magnetic field flickers and fails. Satellites fall from the sky. The internet is gone. Communications die. And for anyone left watching, it is a silent horror. The noise of the explosion doesn't reach them, not right away, but the light does, brighter than the sun. A second sunrise that signals not the beginning of a day, but the end of an era. Hours after impact, Earth unravels. The collision has happened, but the consequences are just beginning. In the first hours after impact, Earth no longer behaves like the planet we once knew. It is a molten, unstable shell, bleeding fire and gas into space. Shockwaves from the impact reverberate through the planet's mantle and core, shattering tectonic plates. Entire landmasses crumble into the sea. Mountain ranges collapse. New volcanoes erupt with apocalyptic fury. Earthquakes of magnitude 12 and beyond rip open the crust like paper. These are not isolated events. They happen everywhere, all at once. Global temperatures spike by hundreds of degrees. The skies turn pitch black, not from night, but from the dust and ash now circling the globe. The sun is gone from view. What little remains of the atmosphere glows with eerie red and orange hues, lit by plasma storms and superheated gases. Tsunamis continue to sweep across continents, now fueled by aftershocks and collapsing coastlines. The oceans themselves are boiling, literally. Steam clouds rise in columns as tall as skyscrapers. Rain, when it falls, is acid. Survivors, if any, are few and far between, clinging to what remains of underground shelters, caves, or the innards of deep bunkers. But survival doesn't mean salvation. Radiation levels skyrocket. With the magnetic field disrupted, deadly cosmic rays and solar radiation flood in. Genetic material begins to mutate. Crops wilt and die. Any exposed water source is poisoned. Livestock are gone. Food chains collapse. Entire species vanish in hours. Meanwhile, Earth's orbit is no longer stable. The rogue planet, now fused or gravitationally entangled with Earth, has altered our trajectory around the sun. Seasons no longer exist. Climate zones have vanished. Winds whip at over 400 km/h, 250 mi, creating firestorms that consume whatever still stands. The psychological toll on the last human minds is unimaginable. In the midst of roaring skies and a crumbling world, the knowledge sinks in. This is not a disaster. This is extinction. Civilization is gone. The internet, satellites, power grids, governments, all lost. Languages, cultures, history, science, all erased in less than a day. Those who survive must face a planet that no longer resembles Earth. Days after the impact, Earth is unrecognizable. But as the fires begin to dim and the molten glow fades, a far more insidious threat rises: the long, dark winter. Billions of tons of ash, soot, and vaporized rock have been ejected into the upper atmosphere. These particles form a thick global shroud that blocks sunlight from reaching the planet's surface. Within weeks, photosynthesis halts completely. Plants die. The food chain collapses, and Earth begins to freeze. This is nuclear winter, only it's not caused by bombs, but by a planetary impact on a scale never before witnessed in human history. Global temperatures plummet by 10 degrees, 18 degrees or more. In some regions, the drop is even greater. The equator becomes temperate. The temperate zones turn subarctic. The poles are entombed in ice. Storms rage without end. Snow falls even in places that have never seen it before. The atmosphere thickens with toxic gases: sulfur dioxide from volcanic eruptions, carbon monoxide from global fires, methane released from ruptured permafrost. Breathing becomes dangerous without filtration. Visibility is often less than a few meters. Survivors huddle together in caves, bunkers, and ruins. There is no agriculture, no livestock, no sunlight. Those who stored food and water might last weeks or months. Those who didn't will die trying to find it. Desperation turns to violence. Factions form. Cannibalism, once unthinkable, re-emerges in the darkest corners of human desperation. And yet, the Earth keeps spinning. With no clear day or night cycle, circadian rhythms collapse. People sleep in shifts, unable to tell time. Depression, psychosis, and paranoia spread faster than any virus. The cold becomes unbearable. Any attempt to live above ground leads to instant hypothermia or radiation sickness. The once thriving cities are now ghostly monuments, covered in ice and ash. Meanwhile, space agencies, if any remain, are silent. Communication systems are gone. Satellites destroyed or flung out of orbit. The few lucky astronauts in orbit may have watched the collision in horror, only to find themselves circling a dead planet. Eventually, they too run out of supplies. There are no resupply missions, no rescue. Months turn into years. Eventually, the ash cloud begins to thin. But it's not a sign of recovery. It's a sign of what's next. The greenhouse gases trapped in the atmosphere begin to warm the planet uncontrollably. The sudden shift triggers hyperwarming. After years of freezing, the planet could now overheat, flipping from ice age to a hellish greenhouse state. Floods, fires, droughts, and acid rain return. Only this time, there's no one left to witness them. The end, or a new beginning. Earth, as we knew it, is gone. The collision with the rogue planet has shattered more than just the crust. It has unmade civilization, ecosystems, and perhaps even the story of humanity. But is this truly the end? In the years that follow, the Earth is a wasteland of contrasts. Parts of the planet are frozen tundras, others scorched deserts. The seas are thick with chemical sludge. The sky is a permanent twilight, neither day nor night. And yet, where there is time, there is always the possibility of change. Life, microscopic, resilient, may survive. Deep underground, in geothermal vents, extremophiles could cling to warmth. If even a sliver of the biosphere endures, evolution may take its slow, steady course again. Not in decades or centuries, but in millions of years. Earth may not return to what it was, but it may become something new. If any humans survived, in space, in bunkers, in isolated corners, they would emerge into a world that no longer belongs to them. Rebuilding wouldn't just mean making tools or planting seeds. It would mean redefining civilization, memory, and survival itself. Culture would be reborn not from technology, but from myth and story passed on by firelight. But most likely, there would be no survivors. The collision's aftermath may cast the final shadow on the human chapter. No ruins, no archives, no trace that we ever existed. Just a new asteroid belt, a new orbital path, maybe a new moon born from molten rock, echoing the event that first formed our current moon billions of years ago. The cosmos would go on, indifferent. Stars would still shine, galaxies would still swirl, and somewhere another intelligent species might peer into their skies, wondering if they were alone, never knowing they missed Earth by a cosmic second. So, what if Earth collided with another planet? It wouldn't be war. It wouldn't be conquest. It would be obliteration. Instant, final, and quiet. A reminder that in the vast chaos of the universe, our place, and our survival, hangs by the most delicate of cosmic threads. What do you think? Could any life survive such a cataclysm? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more mind-bending journeys from the edge of possibility, right here on What If 1688.